Kojo Sempa Furniture Works. Hey, the next time I come to Kumasi, if I don't buy you presents,
he's the top shutter.
Arrest me.
He always puts it there.
Great God, we thank you for this morning from Kojo Sempa Furniture Works. I'm always happy to read your messages. There's one here that you someone sent to us. Good morning, GTV. I'm Yankee from Michelle Camp Tema. We, the good people of Nzema, are grateful to Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for his good and hard work put across for his country, Ghana. If nobody appreciates his legacies that this country still feeds on, we, the good people of Nzema, appreciate and we pray for his soul to rest in the bosom of Christ. Hashtag Nkrumah still lives on. Thank you for sending those messages across to us. And like we said, we are giving you a lot of details about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, on the show today on what would have been his 112th birthday. So from the Western region, that team will be at the mausoleum, and Kaf will tell us all about that in just a little bit. On this side, we'll be looking at some of the unwritten facts about him. And historian Anoche Frimpong will be joining us at the table. We will also be speaking to the chairperson of the CPP, Madame Akosua Frimpoma. We'll look at Nkrumah's legacy and what it means for the CPP. And even on the lighter side of the table is still Nkrumah on the menu.
Yes, we'll be having a one-on-one conversation with Kwame Nkrumah's cinematographer, guys. Are you looking forward to that conversation? I am. If you want to ask questions and send in your comments, you can do so by hashtag GTV Breakfast and on our WhatsApp number 05555 and we'll keep the conversation going. Later on, we'll also have a sit-down with Akable, and he'll give us some secrets on how to maintain your music and let it be evergreen.
So Akable just did a performance a few minutes ago, and he performed in the Nzema language, and right after I asked him, what's the meaning of what you sang? I'm sure my Nzema people will tell me. So if you're in the Western region and you heard Akable's performance, send me a message on what the theme of the song is. I could tell you, but then how would I know you were listening? And I want to know that you're listening because we are in the Western region, and Kaf will tell us what he's been up to at the mausoleum right up next. Kafui. Beautiful shot.
Hey, Thelma. Hey, Valerie. Good to have you here. It's beautiful. We are here at the Nkrumah Mausoleum in Nkrofo, which is about a 2-hour drive from Takrady in the Western region. And I was listening to all the quotes. I mean, I'm just thinking about all the quotes that we've been showing on since this month started, and I'm here at the birthplace of the man who issued all those quotes. I want to read one of them because it's quite instructive what we are doing today. I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. Kwame Nkrumah. And that ties in nicely with where we are right now, because right behind me is the home where the man was born, and you're going to get the flavor of all the history and the significance, some of the artifacts that are even in that room. So I'm going to go in right now with my friend who is the site guide for the Kwame Nkrumah Museum right in Nkrofo. So Stephen Tando. Stephen, please come right in. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here on the show, and we're going to now go into the house and find out exactly what is in that building where Kwame Nkrumah was born. All right? Okay. So tell us a little bit about this mausoleum. So when was it built?
This place was built in 1972. Although the structures were there already, but it was turned into a museum in 1972 when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah died. So right now, we are at the birth and original burial place of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay. The birth and the original birthplace of Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, so take us through. I am your guest. You're the side guide, so let us know exactly what we're looking at here. So where will we start with?
Right now, we are almost here at the family house. So we have the kitchen of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's mother, and we have their family house or their bedroom, okay. And we have where he was buried. Okay. So I have to show you what is there. We have some of the original utensils that the mother was using. So all of them are inside here. Okay.
Since this is GTV breakfast and I'm feeling hungry, let's go to the kitchen first. All right. So this is the original structure of the kitchen where Madam Nyaniba, Kwame Nkrumah's mother, would have been cooking for him.
So this is Mama Nyaniba's kitchen. And as I said, inside the kitchen, we have some of the original utensils. You know, the kitchen is here because, you know, it has a link with Kwame Nkrumah. And when I say it has a link, it has a special link, you know, history attached to how Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was born. And, you know, that is why the kitchen is here. So this kitchen is Mama Nyaniba's kitchen. And when she was cooking in the kitchen, then she fell into labor to give birth to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So before then, let me open so that you see what is there. Okay. And I'll give you more insight about the kitchen, what happened there.
So she was cooking and then she went into labor pains. Yes. All right, interesting. Okay, so let's check it out. Mama Nyaniba's kitchen. This is Kwame Nkrumah's mother's kitchen, where all the good food that he ate was cooked. All right. Okay. All right. So tell me what we see, Stephen.
So these are some of the original utensils that the mother was using. And we have some of the ovens and, you know, some of the things that she used to cook. So there's an oven that she used to smoke fish. And it has been there for some time. And so the utensils, it were many. The utensils were many, but when they were exhuming the body, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was buried here first, and during President Warren's time, they exhumed the body to Accra. So when they were taking the body to Accra, they took some of the utensils and some of the items here to represent him at the museum in Accra.
Okay. So this would be a water pot, is that correct? Yes. That would be a water pot over there.
They use it to cook as well.
To cook as well. What kind of food would Kwame Nkrumah be eating in the mornings?
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, she like yam, morning, or plantain. They'll prepare plantain with stew, and sometimes they'll try to prepare porridge.
Okay. All right. Interesting kind of food that he'll be eating. All right. Okay, good. So show us exactly. So what is this?
This is like a chair. So the mother would be sitting on this, sitting on this side whilst cooking. And sometimes she puts some of her utensils at this place after she finished cooking.
Okay, so it's like her seat for her to sit down and then cook. All right, so this is Mami Nyaniba's kitchen, and this is the window going out. These are the original materials of the building, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we're here at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, and my guest is Stephen Tando, who is a site guide. Now, where's the next step for this tour?
We are going to where Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was buried. So this is where he was buried. First, before his body was exhumed to Accra. And as I said, that the kitchen, you know, has a special link to this place, or the whole of this place. When Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was born, that was Saturday, 21st September 1909. Although the year is not the original year. And he even presumed that his date of birth could be 18th September 1909 or 21st September 1912. So the fact is that he was born on Saturday. And that Saturday, before his birth, they were having the funeral rites here. And that was the funeral rite of his grandmother, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's grandmother, his father's mother. So there were a lot of visitors here who came for the funeral. And Mama Nyaniba was in her kitchen preparing food for the visitors that came for the funeral. Then she fell into labor. And when she fell into labor, at that time, this place was a village. So there were no hospitals and clinics around. And when you get into such situations, you'll be helped by the local midwives. So they tried to take Mama Nyaniba from the kitchen to the bedroom to help her deliver. But she couldn't go when she came out from the kitchen. She got stuck at where Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was buried. So they prepared place for her to deliver Dr. Kwame Nkrumah there. So where Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was born is where he was buried when he died. And there is also a reason why he was buried at where he was delivered.
What is that reason?
When he was delivered, when they delivered Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when they delivered the child, normally they expect the child to show some sign of life, but Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was not showing any sign of life. He wasn't crying, he wasn't breathing well, so they thought the child was going to die when they gave it to him. and they tried to put life, the female relatives that have been delivering Dr. Cameron Nkrumah tried to put life in the child by making a lot of noise that when the child hears the noise, maybe he might cry. But after the noise, the child was not crying. His father even came, picked the baby, joying him and playing with the child for several times, but still the baby was not crying. He even went to his house and brought his gun and fired it out towards the bed, that the baby might be frightened by the gunshot, but still the baby was not crying. So one of Nkrumah's aunt who helped in delivering, suggested that if the baby is not crying, then they should get him something to eat. So they brought a ripe banana and stuffed the banana and started feeding the child with the banana. So after the banana, then he started crying. So the day that Dr. Cameron was delivered on, that same day he ate banana. So when he grown up, they told him about what happened, and he said if that's the reason or that's the case, or what happened, then he should be buried at where he was delivered. So he was buried at where he was delivered, and that's what I said. There is a story to attach to it.
Okay, let's check out the bust. We see here a bust, and the inscription is Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, 1909-1972, first president of the Republic of Ghana. What's the story behind this bust?
This one was built, the first one, it was made in such a way that it could be moved by our president, Ignatius Kutu Achampon, because it was his time that Dr. Cameron Nkrumah died. And he even arranged for this place for his burial. So he built one in such a way that it could be moved, because at that time it was connected with machines. And even when Dr. Cameron Nkrumah was buried here, that time it was made in such a way, his tomb was made in such a way that when you come to this place, they will be having machines that they will use it to lift the body plus the tomb up for you to see, until the body was taken out from this place to Accra. So more importantly, we have a sculpture that is one of Dr. Cameron Nkrumah's hand on his tomb, and with a torch in his hand raised. And this represents his last statement that he made before he died. Dr. Cameron Nkrumah died in Romania when he was in Guinea. So after he was overthrown in 1966, he went to stay in Guinea with his friend Sekou, and he was even a co-president to Sekou. He was there and he fell sick in 1972, so they sent him to for further treatment before he died. And he said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the knowledge that death can never extinguish the torch which I have lit in Ghana and Africa. Long after I'm dead and gone, the light will continue to burn and be born aloft, giving light and guidance to all people. So this is the last statement that he made before he died.
So those are the last words of Kwame Nkrumah. As far as I am concerned, I am in the knowledge that death can never extinguish the torch which I have lit in Ghana and Africa. Long after I am dead and gone, the light will continue to burn and be born aloft, giving light and guidance to all people. And so that light is represented by this torch coming out of the tomb of Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes, so we also have made it a historical day that on every 21st September, today, we are going to light this torch for the public. We are going to have a celebration here in commemoration of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So right after the celebration, we are coming here to light this torch.
So we'll see some fire coming out of this torch. All right. In case you just joined us, this is GTV Breakfast live in Nkrofo, the birthplace of Kwame Nkrumah, first president of Ghana. And we are just taking a tour of the mausoleum dedicated to his memory. We just went through Mami Nyaneba's kitchen, his mother's kitchen. We've checked out his first resting place. This is where he was buried in 1972 before President Rawlings had his body moved to the mausoleum in Accra. Where are we going now, Stephen?
We are going to the family house where they were staying.
Ah, the family house. So we've come from the birthplace. We've seen where he was buried, which is the same location, and now we're going to the family house. Okay, so we're moving straight this way after you. Okay. So this show is brought to you as always by Adonko Purified Drinking Water. Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Awake Purified Drinking Water, Shield Acrylic Paint, and House of Nutuga for the smock, and the styling outlook for the trousers. So we are going right into the family house. So this is the original building? Okay. So we enter the family house of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. What do we see here, Stephen?
Okay, so This is their living room. And this is where Mamenya wanted to come and deliver the Nkrumah, and she couldn't make it to this place. So this is their bedroom. It's 2 bedrooms and a hall. Okay. So we have some of Nkrumah's, we have Nkrumah's picture here, and the mother.
Okay, so this is a picture of Kwame Nkrumah. Where did he take this picture?
He took this picture with the mother and Akawasen when he returned to Gold Coast. Okay.
This is 1947 when he came back from the UK.
Yes.
And this is a picture of Mamenya Neba, the mother of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes, this is Mamenya Neba's picture. So they took this picture on the same day. Unfortunately, we don't have the picture of the father. The reason is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's father died early in 1926. And at that time, it was quite difficult to have flashing cameras in villages. So we don't have his father's picture. And even when Dr. Nkrumah was young, we couldn't have his picture. And the reason is no one thought he was going to become a great person.
But what was his father's name?
His father is called Nkrumah. Nkrumah's own name is Nyankofi. That is his local name, Nyankofi. And he gave Nkrumah to his son as his surname. And his Christian name, Francis, most of us don't mention that name. So that is his father's name. And his mother is Elizabeth Nyaneba.
Okay, let's check out this bedroom. And then we'll finally end up with Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. But let's check out this one first. This is where his mother used to stay. Or where do you want to go first? You want to go here first? All right, you are the guide. All right. So we're entering this room, which is watching GTV Breakfast. You're taking a tour of the mausoleum at Nkrofo in the Western Region live on GTV.
Okay, so this is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's bedroom. And this is his original bed that he was using. When he was president, anytime he comes here, this is where he stays. Although he built a house for the mother, and the building is at the other side of the road. And that is a story building, a modern building. But when he was president, because they used to attack him, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah survived 6 attacks. So anytime he comes here, he'll go and park his car at his mother's side, and he'll be moving up and down. But in the evening, you come and stay here. And as you saw as you have seen the family house, this is a typical madhouse, and you'll be expecting the president to come and be in this madhouse. And this was his bed that he was using, his original bed that he was using.
Original bed with springs. Yeah, wow. Amazing.
And even some of his personal properties were here, but when they were taking the body to Accra, they took some along. So it was on this bed that was left here.
Original bed that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah used to lie on.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, we have another room to check out. So this was his bedroom?
Yes, this is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's bedroom. And the other one is for the mother.
Would you describe Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with all respect as a mama ba? He really loved by his mother. Would you say that?
When Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was young, he was the only child of the mother. And he was always complaining. He was always complaining that why is it that everybody is, when he was young, and Nkrumah was able to ask the mother, why is it that everybody is having siblings, but he was born only? And the mother would be pointing to the trees in the forest that, look, have you seen the trees? They are all standing alone. So it doesn't matter whether you are born alone or you are born with siblings. You will always be alone, even when you've grown up. So Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he was someone who was loved by the mother, and, he wasn't mad by it when he grew up.
Okay. And this is, I don't think this is the original bed for Mamenya Neba, no.
This is not the original bed of Mamenya Neba, but this is the room where Mamenya Neba was staying. After Dr. Nkrumah's overthrown, the mother came to stay here. So the mother was here till even Nkrumah died. The mother died before, Nkrumah died before the mother. So even at first, when they come to this place, she would be the one telling all these stories, and she grew very old, and she couldn't see. So when you come to this place, she will be relating Dr. Nkrumah's story to to animals, or be telling you stories and relating Nkrumah's life story to animals and be telling you the whole thing.
Okay, so that's the room of Mami Naniba, mother of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Stephen Tando is my sight guide. We are stepping out of the room. This is the hall, and we are live on GTV Breakfast. We're going to end with the last building. Hello, sir. The head of the family of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Eja, good morning. Good to see you, sir. But your morning. Oh. So you're going to do the translation for me? Briefly, yes. Just let him know that we are here from GTV and we are celebrating Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday today.
So this is the head of the family of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He's my grandfather. He's Ejangua. So that's the name for the stew. That is it.
Eja, good morning. We'll come back and talk to you later on the show on GTV. This is GTV Breakfast Show. So we'll talk to you later. Should I speak? We'll come back to you. So just want to let you know that we are happy to be in your town, and we'll come back and we'll interview you a little bit later. All right, so thank you so much. All right. Okay, so that's our little tour of the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum right here in Nkrofo, and we shall come back with more things that you want to learn about this great man whose birthday we're celebrating today. So thank you. My name is Kafui Day. Show brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Shield Acrylic Paint, and House of Nutriga for the funky smokes. You stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Back to Accra, all the way from Western Region.
Answer, you know, because your eardrums are still clouded with the irregular, provocative vocal frequencies of our leaders of this very night. You know why? How would you even enjoy your rest, when you still endure the noisome pestilences of our very own motherland? Oh, Sajifo, if today I call on you to wake up, it's for nothing but the fact that the legacy you left is not being well put. But Sajifo, I really wanted to talk more about you, but you know why? Kafu just did so well to visit your homeland. So let me make it special, right? But Sajifo, if you would remember in your days before you fought for our own freedom, Sajifo, remember that we had people visiting our very own land. We had visitors who navigated their ways into our own motherland, but these very people visited our strange land with a broom in hand. So Sajifo, what kind of a friend or unknown guest visits with a broom in hand? Oh Sajifo, if they have no other intention, then what else would a guest do by visiting your own home with a broom in hand? See, Sajifo, you knew they swept up our leaders, they swept them off their feet, they swept our resources out of this very own land. But Sajifo, what kind of a guest wakes up early in the morning to sweep when the rightful owners of the house are still sleeping? If this guest has no other motive, can I say, countrymen, fellow Ghanaians, continue sleeping. Continue sleeping. But Sajifo, on this very day that you were born, I want to tell the people of this nation something. That they should be very much aware that these visitors came back, but this time they didn't come only is free forever.
Ghana, my happy home, land of rich resources, yeah, land of mighty talent and smiling faces and glorious culture. Ghana, my happy home, land of rich resources, yeah, land of mighty talent and smiling faces and glorious culture. I will die, I will live, uplift thy name, oh. I will die, I will live, uplift thy name. I see it called Ghana, my happy home. Arise, 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 Ghana, you. The nation demands your devotion. Arise, 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 Ghana, you. Let us all unite to uphold them. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Arise, 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 Ghana, you.
City Edition breakfast show on GTV. The hashtag is #GTV Breakfast. And today we are honoring the memory of Ghana's first president, the Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It would have been his 112th birthday today. So we are in the Western region, specifically in Nkrofo. We are also in Accra. and we are celebrating the Osagifo today. Our beautiful looks, you saw Valerie earlier and myself, is proudly was put together by Savida Borekentedia in Akonsombo, Kumasi, Pandokpong, and Akwitia, and they do deliveries nationwide. So call or WhatsApp them on the number 024-3279-751. That's 024-3279-751. And we were beautifully dressed by Ritz Cultural, and they are also on Facebook and Instagram. You can call them on 0200-863-115. Ritz Cultural on Facebook and Instagram 0200-863-115. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Awe Purified Mineral Water, Shield Acrylic Paint, and Adonko Next Level Energy Drink. We are sitting down to look into the stories that made it to the papers today. And with me at the table from my immediate left, the Honorable Alexander Kom-Aban. He is former Deputy Minister for Health and Communication, and also the representative for the Gomwa West constituency. Sir, good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
And right next to him from the headquarters of Kaku, as Kaf would say, brought us some nice Kaku the last time. The Honorable Aquinas Kwanzaa. He is former Central Regional Minister and also MP for Infantsman constituency. Gentlemen, Mawache. But all from Central Region, aren't we?
You don't yes.
It's an honor to sit across from you today. We are celebrating the Osagifo today. It's his Memorial Day, it's a holiday, and we are dedicating the day to his memory. In fact, the whole month of September, you've been here a few times. We've recounted some of his most prolific sayings, and we are telling his story today. We've just been to Ngofla. Have any of you been there?
Ngofla? No, I have not been there.
So now that you've seen what the team has been up to, are you psyched up to go? Domestic tourism?
Yes.
You are?
I've been there. I did my national service in the Nzima area, and I speak in Nzima too. So it's like I love to visit that enclave. You know, I go all the way to Jowaf. Nzima is my second home, you know.
Okay, that's nice. So that the Daily Graphic captures a story on the front page saying Ghana celebrates Nkrumah today. It's on page 13, and that's what we are also doing on the show. It's a holiday, and we hope you're keeping safe. Remember, it's COVID season. It's still with us, and we want everyone to keep being safe. So avoid crowded places as much as possible. Even as you celebrate the day, remember to do it safely. So let's look at other issues that are trending or that have been captured in the papers. And the Daily Graphic again talks about the appointment of the nomination of MMDCEs. Gentlemen, yesterday, or was it the day before, there were some clashes, especially in Treponi and in Kumasi, after the list became public, and people realized that some people's names were not on the list and others also, you know, had been replaced, and people were not happy and they started protesting. Now, the police has deployed personnel to curb the disturbances. What was that your expectation, Honorable Alex?
Thank you very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning, my friend.
Yeah.
And happy holidays to everybody. Today we celebrate the birthday of Osagifo of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It is our prayer that the fire that he lit in Ghana, we should embrace it. We should embrace the good intentions that he had, and then we all contribute our quota to the betterment of the country. Having said that, let me say, obviously, it was expected that some people are grieved by the disappointment that their preferred candidate may not have gotten the nod from the president, would express it somehow. But going to the extent of burning tires and vandalizing constituency offices or party offices and all that, I think it's pure criminality. You know, the President is given the mandate by the Constitution to be the appointing authority of MMDCs. Now, in the exercise of that mandate or that authority, obviously you will have to take information from people close to the various areas, because obviously he may not even know most of them. So he builds information from the people who he can consult in that area. And it was open for people to apply. In some places, we had as many as 12 and all that. In the final analysis, only one person was going to get appointed. So as soon as you applied, you should also know that your chances were as high or as low depending on the number of people who applied. So those who felt that somebody may have worked so much for the party and so he should be rewarded with that appointment should know that it is not a matter of reward. It's a matter for a job to be done. And so we have to look at your temperament, we have to look at your leadership style. All those things come to bear before you are appointed. Because in the final analysis, you are not going there to serve only NPP people. You are going to serve Mother Ghana in that enclave. And so that's what we should understand. So those who are doing that, please, 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 you are giving Ghana a very bad name. Just stay put, agree that it is the president who has the power to appoint. He has done so. Let's support all those who have been appointed so that they deliver on their mandate. In doing this, let me give a thumbs up to those who applied but did not get. I think they have put themselves together in some form of a coalition and have issued a statement. But I believe that that statement should not just be a window dresser where openly they are saying, oh, we are fine. And then they go behind some people and agitate them to go and misbehave. I believe that whatever they have put out is genuine and they are going to calm their followers.
Okay. Your initial questions, Honorable Aquinas.
Thank you. I would also like to use the opportunity to wish Ghanaians a beautiful celebration of the birthday of the nation's founder, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I believe this would have been like affected long ago because you know, it's always difficult for a new government to get MMDCs in place. But this is a continuing government. So straight up, at least, there should have been an intelligence saying that this DC did well, so let's maintain him. This DC didn't do well, so let's take him off. Right from go, so that at least, you know, we waited so long and you see people started lobbying. The moment people started lobbying left, right and center, that is where we have the problem. And on our rounds too, on our campaign rounds, some people were openly promised that, look, if you make sure your candidate wins the election, definitely we're going to let you continue. So they were living with those minds. But now, the person who was promised, who also promised his followers, is being put out, a new person is in. But we should understand, as a people, that it's only the president that can nominate. You know, me, I always say, if you have any anger, just go and be behind the assemblyman, not to approve the person, but not to fight. And you see, funny enough, all those places that you see them fighting, those are the places the people will easily sail through at the assembly. Yes, I mean, you see, if the people know they don't have the assemblymen, they know the assemblymen will definitely do the bidding of the nominee. They will go on the streets. But if they know they have the assemblymen who will reject the man, they will keep quiet. They will just relax. But he'll go for his approval. That is where they will show you their powers.
But do you think people have a good grasp or understanding of our local governance structure? Because some have suggested that if the people knew the power that they wield when it comes to the approval of the MMDCs, like you're alluding, they would just bid their time and wait for the people to come to the assembly and then just refuse to give them the nod.
Yeah, but you see, you have, like, let's say Gumwa West. Gumwa West, how many assemblymen do you have there? They can, I mean, they are not enough, you know, so they believe like people can easily buy them off and get their way. But I believe, you see, like the way we wanted to go, election of MMDCs, that one, like as you've gone through all this, the 3 people that were shortlisted will come and stand for an election for everybody in the district or municipality to vote.
There's some who have opined, especially yesterday. PNC's former chairman was on the program, and he was of the view that elections may not necessarily favor communities or areas like Accra where, because of urbanization or migration, the natives do not have the numerical strength. And so if the appointment necessarily needed to be native focused, then those persons, for example, if you're a girl, whatever, and you're standing in a place like somewhere in Odududu constituency, which is densely populated by people who have moved from across the country, then they might be disadvantaged. And so the non-election of MMDCs and the appointment is supposed to stop some of the gaps in the election process, and so offer people who may not necessarily win at the polls, but they have the necessary qualifications to do the job.
Thelma, can I answer this question?
Okay, I'll come back to you, Aquinas. Let him have a bite, and then I'll throw the ball back to you.
Please. I don't see why we should even try to bring in maybe ethnicity or persons hailing from that area and all that. You see, when a place has become cosmopolitan, whatever development that goes on there is for all the people who are resident in that cosmopolitan area. And that if somebody who does not even hail from there resides there and he has the capability, the leadership skill to do it, why not? It will be open to everybody in there to vote on the basis of merit and not where somebody is coming from. I think we should not entertain this kind of argument at all.
Okay, so then I'll throw the ball back to you, Aquinas, on what your impression, because you were shaking your head at some point to the submission, and I just alluded to the fact that it was something that the Honourable former chairperson of PNC had put across at the table just yesterday.
I will side with my brother. How many MPs do we have in Accra who are not indigenous Ga people? I mean, it's about better representation. You see, you go to an area in Greater Accra region, go to Socho, go to Anya, and how many Gans can you count there? So,
few.
Yeah, few. So the moment you select somebody, you are not looking at whether the person is a Ga or Fati or whatever. You're looking at somebody that can properly represent the development of the area. But if we say we're going to go the
tribal route,
it's not going to help. I mean, and that is what is been our problems in some areas. You know, this is a very good material, but let's say he's from a northern extraction, living in Ashanti region. Everybody knows he's an industrious person. He can move the district or the municipal to the next level. But the fact that he's not an indigene becomes a problem. But we should start seeing ourselves as one people. You know, this is the kind of things that Dr. Nkrumah was trying to achieve by creating the boarding schools. You all go, you mingle, you come out, you realize that you are the same people. you are not different from a guy. A guy is not different from a fancy. And if you look at our culture, I mean, look from where to where. I mean, especially on the coastal belt. If you drive all the way from Elobo all the way to Aflao, you see similarities. You understand me? We are one people. It's only a language that is separating us. So I think it's about time we forget about this kind of thinking. That yes, I mean, even in Odododio, some areas will call for that kind of thing that you are talking about, but it shouldn't be a criteria. Like Odododio, definitely Odododio is a place that, look, you can't even bring non-Akan. I mean, it's funny because that is a predominant Ga area. I hope you understand me. Though we have other tribes in there, but it's dominated by Gas. Amasama used to be the same, but now go to Amasama.
It's not that.
It's become cosmopolitan. So at the end of the day, they can select. And who is the MP for Amasama? Efrifa. Is he a Ga? No. But this is a typical, we take that to be a typical, but they realize that maybe that is the person that can properly represent them in parliament. They voted for him to go and do their work. I hope you understand me. So we don't need to trade on that ground because it's very slippery. I mean, we don't need to look there.
And because of the deployment of the police, it suggests that we are fully aware of how quickly things can escalate with some of these things. And so what are some of the things that the police you think should be aware about as they even go out to maintain the peace?
I have had a chance of being at the local government ministry before. I was once the deputy minister for local government. In cases like that, I think the police, all they need is their presence. Some of the areas you won't get, the anger will go into the assembly hall and, like I said, they are going to reject whoever they brought. But I believe the police will not have too much work to do, apart from the initial skirmishes that we saw on the day of the announcement. I remember I had a similar issue in my constituency. The thing was taking long. So I have to go to the president and say, boss, you mentioned the person's name. The fire will burn, but but if we waste time, people now get the nerve to go around trying to lobby. But if the name comes, they will shout one day, and that will be it, because your shouting is not going to force the president to change his nomination.
Honorable, do you think the delay in announcing or the nominees may have contributed to the disturbances we are seeing in pockets of the country?
I don't think so, because the point is that the lines of allegiance for various people who had put in their bid had already been drawn. So any time, any day that those names were brought, obviously there were going to be aggrieved people who would display or show their grievances one way or the other. I think that rather it has probably reduced the tension that we would have had, because a lot of consultations have gone on behind the scenes before the names were put out. So it is not as though the names were just kept there and nothing was being done. No, there were a lot of consultations, and that's why we did not have an explosion of it, but pockets of it in various places. I don't think it is too bad an issue.
Okay, let's look at another issue, because Abantu has also raised concern over low numbers of women in the list of nominations. I think it's 38 as against 220 plus males. Why is there a low representation of females on the list?
If there was anyone who always wanted women to be part of the governance structure, I think it's the president.
So why are we not seeing it? This is not an elected process where people did not vote for the female candidates, but it's actually by appointments. So why didn't we see more appointment of women?
It was by appointment, but some way, somehow, it was also by invitation. So if the door is open for people to put in a bid to become DCs, MCs, or metropolitan chief executives, and the women do not present themselves, how is the president going to change the course of things?
The women did not present themselves?
In most cases, the women did not present themselves.
Okay. We want to go to Nkrofo. You know, today we are intercity, so we'll be going to Nkrofo very soon. I wonder what your thoughts are quickly on the female factor before we move to CAF and the team who are standing by to give us another interesting report. Aquinas, what would your points be?
If my memory serves me right, I remember about 122 women were part of the people who applied. So out of the 122, 38 of them maybe made it to the
list, the final list.
But I believe, I mean, like what he's saying, the president is an advocate for women in governance and whatever. And this is where, like you said, this is where it's not elective. So there should have been a conscious effort, at least 40% of the total nominees should have been women. I mean, because this you have the prerogative.
The appointing authority is the president.
Is the president. I mean, but hey, maybe the focus is shifting now. Like, oh, I tried the women and one or two, so let me bring in more men than men. Because you see, appointment of that nature, you can even send scouts there that look, I want to replace a woman with a woman. I want to replace a man with a man or whatever. You get a team that will go around. Definitely in every district, they can identify one woman who is pro-MPP to be given that job.
Right, and should another question, should it always be someone who is pro-MPP? If somebody else who is not from any identified political party, will that person be given a fair chance in assuming a position like that? But it's a conversation I would want us to shelve for a minute, and we will go to the Western region, and we will be joining the team there to tell you about a mysterious river. Remember, we are celebrating the man Dr. Kwame Nkrumah today. He had very humble beginnings. We've seen where he was born at in Nkrofo. We've been to the museum. We saw where his mother, Mame Nyaniba, used to stay, where they used to, she raised her only son. And we know that Dr. Nkrumah's father was a goldsmith, and the mother was a petty trader, and it was she, Mame Nyaniba, who made sure that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah got an education. So he was baptized into the Catholic faith and the elementary school run by a Catholic mission, and he proved to be an ardent pupil. And it was a pretty long walk. He got a teacher's certificate from the Prince of Wales College at Achimota, first degree from Lincoln University, postgraduate from an Ivy League school, University of Pennsylvania. He had a stint at the London School of Economics, briefly at the University College London, and same at Gray's Inn. So a lot of the things that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah managed to achieve in life was because of the good start he had from Mame Nyaniba. I needed to put that out there. As we are having a conversation about women and the active roles that women can play in grooming the next generation of leaders, even being leaders themselves. So we'll switch over now to CAF and the team who are standing by to tell us about this mysterious river. I'm intrigued, and I hope you are too. Let's see what the team has to say. CAF.
Thank you very much, Thelma, and greetings to Messrs. Aban and Kwanzaa right there in Accra.
Yep.
We are live at Nkrofo, and my current location is about 200 meters away from the birthplace of Kwame Nkrumah. And behind me is the River Subile, which is called the Mysterious River. What's the mystery behind it? Well, my site guide, Stephen Tando, who worked here at the museum, will give me the whole background to the mysterious river Subile. Stephen, what's so mysterious about this river behind us?
So As you said, this is a river Subli, and it's an Nzema word meaning black river. So this river, it was having a black color, but now because of the illegal mining activities, that is why it has turned to this color. And this river was there before Dr. Cameron Nkrumah was born. So even first, this was their main source of river, which they were using for their domestic purposes. But now, because of pollution, they don't use it as how they used to. So as far as Dr. Cameron Nkrumah's story is concerned, this river is mysterious. And the reason why the river is mysterious is when Dr. Cameron Nkrumah was young, when he was 2 years old, he was at the back of his mother going to farm. And anytime they are going to farm, they'll come and pass here and cross the river to their farm. So one day he was at the back of his mother, and whilst the mother was crossing the river, Nkrumah, being at the back of the mother, tied with a cloth, shouted and told the mother that, "Ma, stop, you have stepped on the fish."
How would he have said that in Nzema?
Ma wuti afelezo.
Ma wuti afelezo. Afele is fish, and zo is on it.
Yes.
All right, okay, I'm learning Nzema. And then what did mommy say?
And the mother asked him that, how did he know? Because you at my back, and how did he know that I stepped on the fish? So whilst the mother was looking through the river, then she saw a very big fish there, and that was a mud fish. So she caught the fish, and she was even afraid that how come a fresh fish and a mud fish having a slippery body would be allowing her to catch it so easily. So she couldn't go to the farm. She returned the fish back home with Nkrumah and informed the husband about what happened, and the husband was a little bit surprised, and he took the fish along with Nkrumah and the mother to the fetish priest of the village, because that was a tradition then. And when they got there, the priest incantated and told them that they should go and use the fish to prepare something for Nkrumah alone to eat. And for what he has seen is that the child is going to be a great person in Ghana and to the whole of Africa. So it came to pass that the child was the first prime minister, or Nkrumah became the first prime minister, the first president of Ghana. So there's a river, and this river, it hasn't dried before, but it got dry during Dr. Cameron Nkrumah's time when he was president. When Dr. Nkrumah was president, he was having fish traps in this river, that anytime he comes here, they use it to catch some fish and prepare something for him. So at that time, before he'll come home, he'll send message that he'll be coming. And they will set the traps, and by the time he'll come, then they will get some fish and they use it to pass something for him. So one day, he sent a message that he'll be coming and they should set the traps for him. And they told him that the river is dried. So he was wondering, because this was their main source of river, which they were using. So when he came here, he came down here and saw the river was still dry. Then he went back home and fetched 1 cup of water. And he came back here with his walking stick, and he started praising the walking stick down there and praying and pouring the water. And he did it for several times. After he finished, then it started raining. It rained, and this was full up again. So from that time, this river has not been dried again. It's just a level that to make the dry season, and it doesn't go down, goes up. But in the rainy season, sometimes it flood all over this place, and sometimes even flood to town, where the structures are. So there were even some occasions that the president of Ghana, there was even a campaign time that our former president, Kufuor, he came here, and he had a feel of this place, and they told him everything about the river, the story of Dr. Cameron Nkrumah, and he had a belief when he got to this place that when he used some of this river, he become like Dr. Cameron Nkrumah, he became the next president like Nkrumah, and he used some to wash his hands and his face, and he was even holding a container, he fed some along, and after the election, he wanted to become the president. And our late president, Professor Amos, also came here and did the same thing.
He took some of the water?
Yeah, he used it to bath, and he also became the president. He even came here in the evening bath. Apart from what happened in the daytime where a lot of people were here, he even came here in the evening bath, and he also won. Former President Mahama has been here even 2020. He came here, but at that time, he couldn't get a chance to come to the riverside. He also has been here, and he has used this river when he was also contesting, and he also wanted to become the president. The current president also has been here before.
I see. So I think there's a formula. If you want to be president, you should go and wash your face with some of the water.
Yes, so this is how people have the idea. Even some of the tourists that comes to this place have the ideas that this river has some of the features of the Jordan River. So they use it and it works. Even some use it for different purposes and it comes to pass. And so people have belief in this river. Even I have belief in it.
Are the people sad that Galamsey has destroyed the river, given it this color? Because I don't think it was this color when Dr. Nkrumah was alive.
Yes, so the name Suble means black river. So the river was named by its color. So this river was having a black color. And even up to 2007, where the galamsey when President Kufuor came here, the color was black, and some of these things happened because of the galamsey activities or the illegal mining activities. So they will be destroying it in other communities, and because it flows, it will come to this place. So right now, its color has changed, but even since they minimized the galamsey activities, when Nana Addo initiated the action that they should stop the galamsey, the river color, the color of the river is improving right now. But this is not how it was.
This is not how it was, but this is how it is right here at Nkrofo, about 200 meters behind Dr. Nkrumah's birthplace, his home. And this is the River Subele, dark river in Nzuma, and Stephen has just given us the background to this river. Let's move down and check it out. All right. And so there'll be more on this show. We will have a conversation with the family head and pretty soon. And there's to look forward to. You want to catch Valerie as she introduces a segment on the cinematographer of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, so this is the Subele. Okay, let's kneel down. All right, okay. So this is it. I'm sure people are wondering whether I'm going to bath my face with it, but that one, it will be a mystery for you to also decode for yourself. Okay, so, all right, so, do I want to be president? I think we'll go back to the studio, and whether I actually fetch the water or not will be a mystery for you. Back to you, Thelma, and your guests.
Interrupted the session. You know why? It is to prove how our governance is being interrupted by these very foreign people, and I want to tell you something. The visitors came back. They came back not only with brooms in their hands, they also came back with a mop. Now they've mopped us dry. We living in a land rich of gold, rich of diamond, rich of resources and all other things you can talk about. We have all the water bodies, but being mopped dry is to have water bodies and not being able to even drink from it. Galamsey, do I have a say? Fellow Ghanaians, do you have a say? Today, Osajifo, I called on you a few minutes to wake up, but you couldn't hear me. Just as I said, that your eardrums are still blocked by the provocative, irregular frequencies of our leaders of this very land. Osajifo, you said one thing. Africa is rich and not poor. You see, the people of today do not know that we have to go beyond proving that Africa is actually rich and not poor. We are still struggling to prove it. But the truth is, we've gone past proving it. We are actually supposed to live it. We are to live the richness of Africa. Indeed, Africa is rich, yet the inhabitants of this very land, even in our own motherland, let me even speak in my Ghana tongue. But I choose to also go this way again, not switch. Because Africa is rich, yet the people of the land are poor. Osajifo, you spoke that our freedom will be meaningless until it's connected to the total liberation of our African continent. Osajifo, you said that revolutions are caused by men who think of men, who think as men of action and act as men of thought. Osajifo, help out the masses. Osajifo, the offer of salvation to the people of our beloved motherland. Oh, Osajifo, the true lover and selfless projector of the African brand. Today's Ghana, there are no helpers of the war at all. Somebody they die, somebody they caught. Somebody just won't be the first to take it to the internet. See, Osajifo, internet entered our heads and changed our mindsets to the point where Africans from different African countries towards one another turn irate. Into negativities the youth are led. Many people living in dread. Babies are even scared. Oh, Osajifo, I mention babies because even the ones that are growing, you find out that 60 years defiling 8, 60 defiling 8. Even the insane on our streets are not acting the same. Osajifo, is this the Ghana you fought for? Osajifo, political osofo, Misreo, sorry. That is why I asked and I called on you to wake up. Wake up, Osajifo. Wake up. See, Osajifo, on this very day, I want to challenge the leaders of this very land. Now, let's shut down the Temamoto Way. Let's close the Akosomo Dam. And many other significant exploits you've done in this very land. Osajifo. It would be terrible. It is sickening. It is terrifying. It is really hurting. Fellow Ghanaians, we are petitioning. Are you hearing? On this very day, the founding leader of this very land was born. He spoke of the new Africa. He said he is an African not because he was born in Africa, because Africa was born in him. Fellow countrymen, I speak of a new Africa. You see, it's been the same old story when we sit to talk as young people, the same old stories we keep telling, and it really disturbs me as a young African, you know. So today, as we hear, it is rather terrifying that the leaders of old had no inspiration of making mind-blowing preparation for us, the younger generation of this very land, even if they had no inspiration of causing changes in our very own land. So I look forward to a new Africa. A new Africa where MPs won't travel overseas pretending they've not seen the kids in their communities who sit at the trees for studies. I look forward to a new Africa where saving for a living will be encouraged over saving for burial. Osajifo, I want to speak more, but you know, time will not permit us. So just one thing I'll say. Long live the Osajifo brand. Work by JK.
of Ghana, Nkrumah, star of Ghana, everybody toils of the brave, and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave, which have brought rain